just a second. I just wanted to show you some of the work we have out at the studio here and gallery. Hopefully we'll have some friends joining us here shortly. But we have lots of great glass for you to come out and check out. Some amazing ornaments, flasks, mugs. And I think we're going to be making a picture for you today. Now we also have some pumpkin ornaments, some of our hanging ghosts, some of our pumpkins and mugs. And we have some new ones this year with the bright colors. And every week we're adding new ones, so come out and check us out. So inside the studio, of course, we have our glory hole, our reheating furnace. Foster's going to be working from. Our annealing oven. We'll show you some of the work we've made over the course of the day. We just got finished up making some pieces with O. He made some s'mores for the kids and adults in the audience. So we have a pretty full annealing oven. And then out here at the Renaissance Festival, here's our furnace. It holds about 150 pounds of glass. Remember, that's running at about 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and that stays running 24/7. Foster usually adds about 100 pounds of glass every week to it. So in the weekend, we're using about 100 pounds. So it's coming out to be quite a nice day out here. We got a little bit of rain earlier, but the sun's starting to come out. And Foster's getting set up. Looks like he's going to be making a confetti pitcher. So here's that multicolor frit he's going to be using. And Foster, what color pitcher is it going to be today?
I think I have a dusty blue, or I have a dusty pink.
Okay, so dusty blue or dusty pink confetti pitcher. It looks like we're going to be getting started here just shortly. So good day and welcome to the Royal Glassworks. Foster now has a heated pipe he's going to be using to pick up a small chunk of color.
And it's the blue.
Okay, so we got the dusty blue color. And he's going to be heating it inside a furnace that's strictly used to reheat the glass and has a temperature of 2,300 degrees Fahrenheit. Now the color we use comes in bar form, and I'll show you folks that in just a second. So here's what the color comes in. They come in bar form. Now we can take those bars and crush it up, and that's how we make the chips of color, or the little dots of color that you see on some of the pieces. For instance, with this mug here, that was made with frit or crushed up glass. See with some of these ornaments. And that's what Foster's going to be using to make his pitcher today. He's going to be using that multicolor frit. Looks like we have a couple folks joining us online.
Oh, very good. Excellent. And we have a couple of people on our benches.
That's right. So it's turning out to be quite a nice day out here. The sun's starting to come out. So now that Foster has that color molten, he'll be using a steel top table called a marvering table to cool and shape it. Oh, hey Steve Ellis, greetings from England, Steve says. Once he has that color shaped, table gets its name from the French word for marble. Before they had sheets of steel, they would actually use marble, as you can see behind it there. and that's how they would shape the glass.
And so here we have the colored glass initially on the end of the blowpipe. This is one of the ways of introducing color to the glass that you see about you in our studio today. By having this colored glass initially on the end of the blowpipe. Again, it is one of the ways of introducing color.
Hello, Barry. So I'm guessing you're maybe in the UK because you said it's evening for you. Welcome, welcome. So this is the main glass furnace, and the glass is held in a molten state just at the floor of the furnace and has a temperature of 2300 degrees. It also has the consistency of honey or treacle, and that's why Foster constantly turns the pipe. If he stops turning, that glass wants to run to the ground. So if you're joining us online, we're out here at the Maryland Renaissance Festival. And we'll be out here for about 9 weeks until about the end of October. And we'll be demonstrating on Saturdays and Sundays. So now Foster's using a block. This block is made from a piece of fruit wood, and the wood is cut green and remains in water for the life of the tool. Now that water not only keeps the wood from burning, but also creates a layer of steam for the glass to glide on. So he just blew into the pipe, trapped air with his finger. The trapped air heats up and expands a small bubble into the color and clear glass.
Okay, so here the colored glass has been expanded into that first gather or wrap of clear glass, which covers the colored glass that is now on the end of the blowpipe.
So not only was Foster showing the folks the glass, he was also allowing it to cool. He needs that to be stable enough to withstand a second gather without collapsing. So he goes into the furnace, and he dips it in and turns, and it wraps that glass around the first gather. So the more gathers or glass he gets, the larger the piece he's able to make. So he's allowing that glass to stabilize, and now he's picking up that frit, those little chips of colored glass, and it sticks to the hot molten clear glass. Now the color we use comes in that bar form, like I showed a little bit earlier, and it's made by adding different oxides of metals to the glass. So for instance, every metal makes a different color. If you would add manganese to the glass, it would give you the purple and lavender colors. Copper oxide would give you the reds. Cobalt, of course, will give you blue, and if you add gold to the glass, you get a cranberry pink color. So Foster's using, I believe, that dusty blue color, which is a combination of cobalt and titanium. Cobalt to make the blue, titanium to give it opacity or opaque color. Now he's using this furnace to melt that frit and glass, and it's strictly used to reheat the glass. It does not contain any glass, it's just a heated cylinder. He's using a larger size block to cool and shape it. You can also see that glass is glowing that bright orange color. This is due to the intense heat. Once again, he blows to expand that bubble into the glass. Once again, since it was cooled by that metal, he always needs to return to that furnace. And that's how we get the ridges like you see on some of the ornaments, the thick and thin spots or the lines that go down. We also have other molds that give it a diamond pattern. Foster's now using the jacks to cut down a neckline. This neckline will make the transfer a little bit easier later. So that's where it will separate during the transfer. He's also using a pad of wet newspaper. That helps keep the bottom of the pitcher a little bit thicker. So Foster's heating the whole pitcher, all of the pitcher to get it nice and hot. And now he's going to use centrifugal force to elongate the shape. This is freehand glass blowing. If this pitcher were made in the glass industry, it would be blown into a mold to give it its size and shape. Since no molds are used, Foster uses gravity, centrifugal force, along with over 35 years of experience. So now that he has the basic shape, going to use the jacks to set the neckline, that constriction at the end of the pipe, and also shape the sides.
I can use the yarn on the
He's also using the jacks to flatten the bottom so the pitcher can sit and make an indentation in the bottom to allow room for the punty. To help with the flattening, it's going to get a little bit more heat. If you've just joined us, we're at the Maryland Renaissance Festival. So now Foster's going to be making what's called a punty. A punty is a small bit of glass on the end of a solid iron, and that punty gets its name from the French word for bridge. The reason why the punty is called the bridging tool is because it allows Foster to move the pitcher from the pipe, and he's then able to finish the mouth and apply the handle. So now he's going to lay that on the bench. He's going to attach that punty to the bottom. He's going to make sure it's in line with the pipe. And then he's going to put some water on that neckline. That creates a weak spot, and with a light tap, it separates. Foster is now concentrating the heat of that furnace on the mouth or rim of that pitcher. Every once in a while, though, you'll see him place it all the way inside, and that's to bring some heat to that punty. Remember, that punty is only a small bit of glass, and if that bit of glass were to get too cold, the pitcher may come off before he was finished. Now, if this same piece were made in the glass industry, it would be blown into a mold to give it its size and shape by a team of people. The first person in that process would gather the glass and hand it to a gaffer. The gaffer would then blow it into a mold to give it its size and shape. They would hand it off to a third person who would open the mouth and apply the handle. However, no one single person in that process would have. Studio art glass is highly sought after because it's done in the manner you see here, by one artist from start to finish, and each artist signs their work. All of the glass you see before you in our studio is signed and also for sale. And we do accept the King's MasterCard along with the Queen's Lady Visa. We accept checks, and we'll even accept your cash. And we'll be more than happy to hold any purchase for you until later today. Now you folks are able to purchase this picture you're watching Foster make, and we do accept custom orders, so you can choose the size, color, and shape you would like. However, if you would like this piece, it does need to be annealed. When he has finished opening the mouth and applying the handle, he'll take it off that pipe and put it inside the oven at the back of the studio. That oven holds the glass made throughout the day at 1,000 degrees. At the end of the day, we'll shut off that oven, and the glass inside is allowed to cool very slowly overnight. This cooling process is necessary, for if Foster would just leave that on the ground, over the course of about 5 minutes, it would break. You can see that top is hot. He's going to use the jacks to open the mouth. So tomorrow morning, Foster will come into the studio. He'll take the glass out of that oven, and he'll sign his work. The demonstration and custom ordered pieces are then sent out during the week. The king's cousin, Uncle Sam, allows us to use his castle, the post office, where we can ship work to you first class and insured.
Okay.
Yep, I got you. So now we're going to make the spout for the pitcher. Going to do a little bit of shaping on that spout, just to get it where you would like it. No, you're fine. All right, so now that he has the spout complete, he's going to get 2 gathers of clear glass, and that clear glass will be used to make a handle for the pitcher. Now I'm keeping the pitcher just hot enough so it doesn't get cold and cracked while Foster makes up the handle. So we're just kind of balancing the heat on the 2 pieces. Foster attaches the glass to the side, or the handle to the side. He cuts it off, and we let it hang. And he'll use his pincers to attach it to the top.
And here we're using the carbon rod to begin to cool, set, shape, and form the applied clear handle. So here we have the dusty blue pitcher with the optic impressions and the confetti colors at the bottom. Be happy to enjoy your day at the festival. Thank you for being with us for the hottest show in the realm. A good day to you one and all. Good day. And a hearty this out. Thank you.